So Valley Group Homes preying on Native Americans to profit from their health care insurance. We're learning the FBI is investigating several fraud cases along with what appears to be human trafficking.
Fox 10 investigator Justin Lum tonight has been looking into the money-making scam that's taking advantage of people's addictions, all to make a buck. Justin with part 3 of Preying on a People. Justin, is there any solution to all this?
Well, to find a solution, we wanted to get some insight from people in charge of sober living homes. How easy is it to get paid thousands of dollars in Medicaid benefits off one person alone? And it's not as simple as opening a residential rehab center, especially if it's not licensed. The challenge is identifying the bad actors in a lucrative business. On a chilly January morning, we enter the Zone, the largest homeless encampment in Phoenix, where nearly 1,000 people live in tents on the streets. Hey, Leon, can we talk to you real quick? NG Sober Living?
I'm with police.
You're with? They're not police though. I'd like to talk to you about your sober living home.
You don't need to come out.
Can you just tell us about what's going on here with the services? I just want to know if your business is legitimate. Can you just tell me a little bit more about your business? We're here because Michael White has been dropped off at the Human Services campus, homeless again after staying at NG Sober Living Home for several weeks. He spoke to us from the home in part 2 of our series, claiming patients don't get services they're entitled to. The Zone is where he says he was first picked up by Leon Kayijamahe, listed as the managing director of the home.
And he told me that you reported to Fox News, you told them about us, and you've been blabbing your mouth, and I'm going to drop you off right here. I don't want you in my house anymore.
But Michael did not want to be dumped in the Zone, and police arrive. We tried to talk to Leon before, but he declined. NG Sober Living Home is not a licensed sober house or behavioral group home per DHS records.
The houses are unsupervised. There's drug and alcohol use in the homes, but the houses are nice, so it literally enables somebody that is off the streets to have a nice place to sleep and stay in their addiction, and they don't want to talk about it because they're comfortable.
The FBI in Phoenix won't tell us specifically which group homes investigators are looking into, but investigators say the overall scheme involves organizers targeting indigenous people from reservations in Arizona, New Mexico, South Dakota, and even at local flea markets and medical centers. The recruiters promise therapy services, yet offer alcohol during the transport. Organizers make sure victims are enrolled in the American Indian Health Plan through Access, so they can make money off the benefits, licensed or not.
You could be licensed, but then you could employ people who, for example, the Department of Health or Access have no idea are working under you.
And there's more money to be made through outpatient programs, non-residential services, to meet patient needs. We found a program in Phoenix where we watched several clients get picked up. This man named Tony says he manages a sober living facility called Good Life Homes. I asked if the home is licensed.
No, yet licensed, but we are trying to get licensed.
You guys get paid through Access, each client?
Yeah, not to us, not straight to us, but we get paid through the IOPs or the clinics.
Looking at the Access outpatient rates for behavioral health, some services cost nearly $400. Counseling and therapy can add up quick, as much as $30 every 15 minutes. Tony is aware of the FBI's investigation and says he does not intentionally recruit Native Americans, nor does he allow alcohol or drug use at his group home. You're doing it the right way.
Exactly.
Is everybody, other managers here, are they doing it the right way?
I can't tell for sure.
What should be done? How do you fix it?
To me, I could just say, let the FBI do it. It's one.
One individual can bring in more than $7,000 into one of these homes with the funding through Access or even through Medicare, depending if it's a residential behavioral health facility or if it's a sober living community.
Enter Senate Bill 1661, proposed by Democratic State Senator Teresa Hatatli. If passed into law, a behavioral health group home admitting a patient must notify their family as soon as possible. The client must be sober when transported to the home or referred by an approved provider of a tribal health care program. A first violation costs $750, a second violation worth $1,000, and a third means a license suspension for 30 days.
They prey on the weakest people in my community who need the most help.
At a recent hearing in front of the Senate's Health and Human Services Committee, Navajo Nation First Lady Jasmine Blackwater Nygren spoke on behalf of the bill. She says there are more than 60 cases of missing natives out of Tuba City alone.
We've witnessed unmarked vans drive onto tribal land, pull into gas stations. They find inebriated tribal members. They pull them in and drive them off without ever receiving proper consent from the individual.
Lieutenant Governor Monica Anton of the Gila River Indian community says her niece was found dead at a sober living home after moving house to house. She says 3 other members of the community have also died in sober living homes.
They allow them to use fentanyl. They allow them to drink still. So they'll call Access up and say, hey, they relapse. I need another 30 days. So the 7,000 she talked about continues for another 90 days.
A cycle not only preying on a people, but seeping into neighborhoods of unsuspecting families. I wanted to quickly break down some numbers. According to the State Department of Health's database, there are licensed behavioral health adult group homes, 900 of them at this moment, and nearly 250 licensed sober living homes. So all told, you're looking at about 1,200 licensed homes in those categories across the state that DHS knows of. Then you gotta weed out the ones that are unlicensed. And the challenge, as I said, is trying to figure out who the bad actors are, the ones allegedly getting in on the scheme.
So that explosion of numbers would indicate somebody's figured out there's money to be made and there's now a proliferation of these homes.
Yeah, what we're hearing is that they are popping up everywhere. And what we've learned is, at least in the city of Phoenix, there are zoning regulations for residential facilities. So if you have a residence with 6 to 10 patients there, you have to register with the city. And now you can't be within 1,320 feet of another group home. But let's say you have capped it at 5 residents. Now you're not at that 6 to 10 mark. And who's really regulating this? So there are definitely
you can have
challenges.
A whole cluster.
You can now have the cluster, not advertising the loophole, but it's pretty clear.
Right.
It's one number off 5 and 6.
There's money to be made.
Exactly. Yeah. So this is definitely a problem that we're seeing everywhere, is what we're hearing.
Yeah, what has the response been? This is a 3-part series. Tonight was the final portion of that, and people have been calling.
And I can tell you guys that we have never gotten, at least I in my career, a response like this for a story where we're getting dozens of messages, emails, phone calls, comments with people with multiple perspectives and stories, people giving us tips. And to be honest, this investigation for us started with a tip, and that person knows who they are, to give them some credit. So if you have a tip, just scan the QR code on your screen to email us, fox10investigates@fox.com. And to watch the rest of this series, you can head to fox10phoenix.com if you missed part 1 and part 2 of preying on a people.
One more thing. The FBI, pretty rare when they're in the middle of an investigation to go public with you about this. They've obviously got something big brewing.
It's a good point. They want more information from the public. So those same tips, those stories have anything to do with this scheme, please reach out to the FBI and provide your tips.
Okay.
Wow.
Justin, nice work.
Yeah, thank you.